Good morning, everyone. We'll be starting the program in just a few moments, just a few minutes.
Senator Murray's coming up the elevator, so we're gonna be ready here in just a moment.
And
Claudia's right here.
okay.
Yep.
Okay, great. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the two-line opening. We're ready to begin. Thank you. We're ready to begin our program.
We could ask folks to please find their seats.
Yes.
Starting in a moment.
Yeah, please find your seats. We'll start any moment now. That's what they came here for. I'm giving them what they eye candy. We're waiting for Senator Murray, is my understanding.
It's supposed to come from this side over here. Never mind. There's a microphone right there behind me.
Good morning, everyone. I know you're all waiting in anticipation. We just got one speaker. We have to get through the crowds and up front, and then we'll be ready to go. So thank you for your patience. We'll be going in just a few minutes.
Good morning, everyone. We will be starting shortly, I promise. Ready? Okay, good morning. I'm sure you're all anxious to ride our brand new trains with the 2 lines. So let's start our speaking program. Please join me in welcoming King County Council Member and Sound Transit Board Member Claudia Balducci to the stage for
Thank you. Just a little bit of trivia. The gentleman who introduced us, that number 2 on his hat could be for his his seniority number at Sound Transit. That is one of our top 3 employees who have worked with the agency since the beginning. All right, in the back, can you hear me okay? That's a big no. How did you know to say no? I'm sorry. I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to lean all the way in. All right. Good morning. I am Claudia Balducci. I'm a member of the Sound Transit Board, and I want to say to you, welcome to opening day of Eastlink Light Rail. Woo! Today, of course, is the culmination of a long time dream for East King County. We have wanted this system for almost 20 years. A regional high-capacity transit system that will connect everyone to all that the East Side has to offer, starting in just a few minutes, and not long after that to the rest of the region. And we couldn't be more delighted to be here today to ride it for the first time together. This moment has clearly been a dream of mine for a really long time. I have been honored to fight to provide this light rail line to the people of Bellevue and East King County. As a Bellevue City Council member, thank you. As mayor of the city, as a King County Council member, and as a Sound Transit Board member. But of course, this work is only possible because of many others, and we're going to hear about a lot of those people today. But first, I want to thank the elected officials who are here to join us today. I see you all, so many colleagues in local elected office, state elected office, and federally. And I would love to call you out individually, but in the immortal words of Jerry Garcia, this train got to run today. So, ooh, yeah. So let us all just give a round of applause to all these folks. Their public service makes things like this possible. Thank you. When I proposed the idea of a starter line, so that wasn't the name yet, running from South Bellevue to Redmond until the rail across I-90 was ready, I wasn't sure it would be possible. I really wasn't. I could think of 3 different ways it wouldn't be possible, but I wanted to bring the benefits of light rail to the East Side as soon as possible. I am so proud of this agency that they took up that challenge and worked through not only the 3 things I could think of, but the hundreds of other things necessary to make this happen today. And just one more thank you before we get into the speakers. Thank you to all the Sound Transit planners, staffers, workers, leadership who made this happen. It wouldn't be possible without them. Okay. So today we're here to celebrate the largest single-day opening of light rail since the original one line opened in 2009. And we're going to hear from an amazing lineup of speakers who have helped to make it happen. I first want to acknowledge one person who we're not going to hear from directly because she is too humble, and that is Susan Fletcher, our FTA Region 10 Administrator. Susan, where are you? She was here. There you are. Thank you. You and the Federal Transit Administration have been incredible partners in this work, and we could not have done it without you. Thank you so much. All right. Right, let's get going. So for those of you who count, I think we've got 8 speakers. So here we go, right? Just now you know where you are in the program and you can follow along. But it is my honor to introduce first and foremost Muckleshoot Indian Tribal Council member Donnie Stevenson for joining us today, and invite him to please come up and give some welcoming remarks.
What an incredibly exciting day to look out amongst the crowd and see so many faces of friends and colleagues and leaders from within the region with whom I've had an opportunity to work as a tribal leader. It's truly a humbling experience. First things first. Weats, Donnie Stevenson Titsta, Bakoshu Abchad, Hauts Denatu. Welcome. My name is Donnie Stevenson, and I am Muckleshoot. I'm an elected member of the Muckleshoot Tribal Council and a appointed member of the Indigenous Advisory Council for the city of Seattle. It's truly a joyous day to be able to come together in celebration with so many hardworking people and leaders from throughout our region. The sort of reality of who we are as a tribal people, that Muckleshoot represents really the first people of this land, that from the shores of the Salish Sea to the base of the Cascade Range are what is known as the Muckleshoot usual and custom lands and areas. So for literally thousands of years and hundreds of generations, our people, my ancestors, have lived and moved throughout this region. The irony and I think some of the beauty of being asked to be here today to acknowledge that history within the context of the 2-line opening and going into operation and being able to celebrate this important achievement and accomplishment is that it's really about bringing people together and connecting people. And if I were going to offer a direct sort of summary of who my people are over those hundreds of generations and thousands of years, it would be just that. It would be that we're a group who are connected, and that throughout this region, we traveled to connect with one another and to connect with the resources in the land, and that being here today to be able to speak to this important occasion with so many other wonderful leaders is a living representation of my Muckleshoot tribal culture, that I get to acknowledge our continued role in doing just that and bringing people together. One of the fundamentals of culture is that it is a living and breathing thing. That if you talk to anthropologists, there are these pillars that define culture, right? And one of them is that it's living. And so as a tribal people, to be able to carry forward the traditions of those who came before us, our ancestors and our elders, and to bridge that in the present today, but most importantly, to the future and to all those who follow us. It's fundamentally the most important role that we can hold, and it's the most meaningful part of our existence. And doing so in a way that celebrates all of our people and acknowledges the things that we share in common is something that I'm incredibly happy, I'm incredibly proud to be able to be here to do today. So in our language, there are two terms that I'd like to sort of leave you with. One is it's our term, our verbiage for good work, because I think that everything represented here today and the celebrating of this achievement, it's the culmination of just that, a bunch of really good work. So in our language, that's Haltsiyayus. Haltsiyayus is good work. So thank you all for your Haltsiyayus. And two, in closing, a really important cultural acknowledgement for us, that when we speak and we offer our words, we recognize that they're powerful and that they have the ability to impact and shape not only ourselves, but all those with whom we come in contact with. And we have traditions in terms of how we acknowledge that and how we denote that ability. And one of those in our culture is to close with the term tsutsiab. And what that means, it's really fitting and it's really appropriate for today's occasion. Tsutsiab means for all of our people, for all of our relations. So I thank you for the opportunity to be here today. My hands are raised to all who have worked to achieve such an important accomplishment. I thank all of the amazing leaders that I see laid out before me. It's an honor to be here amongst you and have an opportunity to share the stage with you today. And I leave you with the thought that that Tsutsiab, that the work that is done is for all of our people. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Stevenson, and we look forward to revitalizing those critical connections for all of us. So lovely. Our next speaker is someone who has been a true champion of light rail in the Northwest from the very beginning. It is no understatement to say that we would not have this line or any of our light rail lines without the steadfast leadership of the godmother of light rail in Washington State, Senator Patty Murray. Welcome, Senator Murray.
Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Thank you. I am so thrilled to be joining all of you for this ribbon cutting today. I've been championing this for such a long time, for so many years. Thank you to all of the elected officials here, family, friends, everyone who's shown up for this great event, but especially to the workers out there who put in all of the time to make this happen. None of us would be here without you. Can we give them a huge round of applause? I think you all know that public transit is a top priority for people across Washington State, and it is a top priority for me. and I'm really proud to have fought for and won crucial investments in our public transit system here in Washington State through our annual funding bills as appropriations chair, through our bipartisan infrastructure law, and really at every opportunity I've been able to. So it's incredibly rewarding to be here today to watch the federal dollars that we worked so hard for our families and see this project finally become a reality. I do have a very long history with this project, and I remember some pretty tough times a few decades ago fighting alongside Joni Earle to make sure there was a future for Sound Transit. Well, that future is here now, and it is so bright, and I couldn't be prouder to be your partner in this effort. With these 8 new stations, we are opening countless doors for families and communities across our state. And this is truly just the tip of the iceberg, especially given the way the Eastlink extension will plug families into other transportation like bike trails and bus routes. And there are still even bigger plans just around the corner for light rail. Now, as everyone here is probably going to tell you, this new light rail has been a very long time in coming. That is why I'm so excited to be here today and to be able to tell everyone we will no longer have to wait years for light rail to come to Bellevue. It will be every 10 minutes. So again, thank you to everyone who helped make this happen. This truly has been a partnership across every level, the Puget Sound, the entire state, all the way to the other Washington. Delivering the federal dollars to support Puget Sound's incredible expansion of public transit has not been easy, but as long as I serve as the top Democrat on the Senate Appropriations Committee, it will be a top priority at the federal level. So thank you. Thank you. So great to be at this. Enjoy this day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Senator Murray. Now we're honored to hear from Senator Maria Cantwell, who, in addition to being a staunch friend and supporter for this project at the federal level for years, is also someone who fights for and understands the benefits to housing and our whole economy of investments like this. Please welcome Senator Maria Cantwell.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, thank you, Claudia. Oh my gosh, it's so great to be here with everyone today on such a celebration for accomplishment. I want to thank Jerry Sparman, certainly Executive Dow Constantine. I can't tell you how many times Dow, in his role as county exec, and as a key member of this transportation organization, made this a reality. But I also like to thank Councilmember Balducci, Mayor Robinson, Mayor Burney, and others who also fought this fight. But I don't want to forget Monty Anderson and the hard work of the tradesmen and women. Monty, thank you. But I can't emphasize enough how much I appreciate my partner in Washington, D.C., Senator Patty Murray, because long ago, when this idea had to be born, she was working hard to make sure that our region did the hard work on sound transportation policy. But you have no idea today, the number one thing that the other side of the aisle always says is, let's get rid of transit in the budget. You have no idea how many times she's had to stand up to fight that fight, and I've been right there with her. But now that she's the chair of the Appropriations Committee, they don't say that as much. So the future is right behind us. And you can see that our region has become an economic powerhouse in so many things, in computer science, in space, in next generation technology. But that doesn't all work if we can't get to and from work. And this is about a transportation system that is going to help nearly 6,000 daily riders now get from Redmond to downtown Bellevue in 14 minutes instead of the 40 minutes trip that it might take by bus or by car. That is connecting people to where they need to go. And as Claudia said, it is about building more affordable housing. Part of the city partnership with Bellevue is to build more affordable housing along the 2-line, adding over 550 new affordable projects on Sound Transit properties along the route. That will make for more affordable housing. But we were glad that the TIFIA federal loan of $1.3 billion helped finance this infrastructure, got it going, and allowed Sound Transit to save between $200 and $300 million and leverage the funding to get this project going. Congratulations to everyone. I, too, will continue to fight for more federal dollars in transportation. Our economy is working. Let's continue to make transportation an enabler of that economy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Senator Cantwell. Next, please join me in welcoming a fearless leader who has been a key architect and driver of our region's transit system and who really, in very, very concrete ways, made today's opening of this starter line possible. King County Executive and Sound Transit Board Chair Dow Constantine. Come on up. Everyone gets hugs today.
Oh, my word. Don't say concrete. Still having flashbacks to that period of time. I got to tell you, this is really a surreal moment for a lot of us. You think about everything that each of you has done to make today possible and all the years and decades of toil and doubt, and here we are today. So look around, take a deep breath, and appreciate the work that we have done together. Congratulations to all of you. You know, it's not difficult to use the word historic as we open light rail service for East Side residents. This is a genuinely historic day for the East Side and for all of Puget Sound. Bellevue and Redmond, starting today, are now better connected than ever before. You don't have to deal with traffic if you don't want to, or parking. You don't have to spend more of your paycheck on gas just to get to one neighborhood, from one neighborhood to the other for work or for school or for dining or for anything you want to do. You have a new, absolutely reliable way to get around. Link Light Rail's new 2-line. This opening marks the first major light rail expansion outside of Seattle this year, and the 1 and 2 lines now serve 5 regional cities. But we are not stopping. Yes, Monty, that is correct. On August 30th, light rail will go even farther than before, crossing county lines for the first time to serve Snohomish County and 8 cities. We will be in Shoreline. We'll be in Montlake Terrace. We will be in Linwood. And we will keep going. A year from now, we'll move even further into Redmond and 2 new stations, Marymore Park and downtown. And late next year, all of these extensions will be knit together as the 2-line crosses Lake Washington, adding 2 new stations. And lastly, looking ahead at 2026, we'll head even further south and add 8 miles of track to bring light rail to Kent, to Des Moines, to Federal Way. So while I am thrilled to be celebrating this milestone with you here today, I say the best is yet to come. And we are celebrating a much bigger story. We're celebrating generations of visionaries and voters and leaders who brought us to this day. Many of them are not able to be here with us today. I will make mention of just 2 people in passing. One is my former boss, for whom I researched light rail construction projects over 30 years ago, as a staffer on the King County Council, and he went on to lead Sound Transit and lead the Sound Transit 2 measure that got us here today, former Seattle Mayor Greg Nichols. And the other, a woman who has been mentioned, but without whom none of us would be here today, former CEO of Sound Transit, Joni Earle. And all the rest of you. Because there are decades of faded pictures of groundbreakings with golden shovels and of ribbons being cut with oversized shears. And all the faces that you see in those photos had a part to play in this, and so many other folks. But the thing about these ribbon cuttings is that we look around and say, my goodness, we realize that we set out to do something extraordinary together, and we got it done. We did it. That's what today is about. So we're going to take another one of those pictures and add to that photo album in just a bit. We're going to write the next chapter of this story that the voters of Puget Sound are authoring. And as we transform our region with light rail, I want us to think about those who came before us, those who made today possible, and all of those who will carry on our legacy as we continue to build this region and this state. Congratulations to every single person here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dow. Now, I'm honored to introduce Washington Governor Jay Inslee, who we all know is a tireless champion for climate solutions, for our environment, and for transit, and these things are connected together, and he has been a strong champion for our project as well. We are so pleased that he's able to join us. Welcome, Governor Inslee, and welcome, First Lady Trudy Inslee.
Good day. First, I hope people appreciate the leadership of Dow Constantine taking slings and arrows and never wavering on this project. Dow, thank you for your leadership. I really appreciate it. Well, we all have a history on this project. Mine goes back 1969. I remember at a Thanksgiving dinner, my uncle was a lawyer in Bellevue, and he told the family he was going to move his little law firm over to this little teeny tiny burg called Bellevue, Washington. It was like a one-horse town at the time. And my uncle said, Evan, what are you thinking of? This is nuts. It's a tiny little, what's over in Bellevue, Washington? And my uncle looked at my uncle Dick and said, Dick, the day will come when I have the largest law firm in Bellevue, Washington. It is a stunning, internationally renowned city, and your nephew will be governor of the state of Washington, leading the coolest public transportation infrastructure project in the United States. And we're here today. So we're excited to have that comfort. My comment on this is that this project is fundamentally a monument. It is a monument to our community and our people in the fact that we are a confident and a resolute people. It tells us who we are. It's not just concrete. It is a physical manifestation of what is in our hearts and our minds. That we are confident in our ability to lead a technological revolution as we have done in all our high-tech companies, and that we are resolute people who are willing to overcome challenges and small minds who don't understand promise that takes time. And this is a monument to our confidence in the fact that we are resolute. And so I want to thank everybody who has expressed that. Now I want to note the state of Washington's part in this project. We always want to brag of the fact, we politicians, that we bring money to the project. I didn't bring a dime to this project. I am showing humility for just one small moment. But the state of Washington is doing something extraordinary. This line is an artery of a transportation system, but we need capillaries. We need to be able to get people to this line so they can enjoy it. We need buses. We need bikes. We need sidewalks. Thank God that we have our state's Climate Commitment Act that is committing $400 million so we can have bikes and sidewalks and free bus rides so we can get to this project. And we are going to keep the climate commitment on track so people can get free bus rides if you're 18 to get to this station, so the Climate Commitment Act can get you a sidewalk to get to this station, and so we can help buses get to be electrified so they don't pollute. The Climate Commitment Act is part of this project, and we're going to keep it on the track. Congratulations. Let's keep going.
Our governor, ladies and gentlemen. Nice job. All right, so we talk a lot at these things about how we got the key decisions and plans and funding together to build a transit line, but the people who actually built it with their expertise and their hands through every season and all kinds of weather and a pandemic are the workers on the construction sites. So I'm very pleased next to introduce Monty Anderson, Executive Secretary of Seattle-King County Building Trades, who represents the union members who brought us this beautiful light rail line. Welcome, Monty.
Well, thank you, Claudia, and I can't tell everybody, I represent over 25,000 men and women who work their tails off to put projects like this together. I would be remiss if I went and stepped back in time a little bit and thank Dow and the governor for the help during COVID. It was tough for all of us, and their safety and everything that Sound Transit did, you can tell I get choked up. It was hard, and they came through for us, and thank you, Governor, and Dow, and Sound Transit. You made it safe for us to come to work when we just didn't know what was going on, and I appreciate that, so I want to let you guys know that. I do have a lot of stats about all the hours and things, but something happened here a few months ago about this project, and I thought I'd tell that story. I sit on my apprenticeship board, and years ago I had this foster kid, was couch surfing. He came to our apprenticeship. We got a job, and I was his very first foreman on his first day. It was Cedar Court, Microsoft building, back down the road. Very first day on the job. Kid didn't know how to read a tape measure, blah, blah, blah. We worked with him and everything. A few months ago, I hear that he is now the general foreman on a project here in Bellevue. I thought, what a life-changing event, right? So maybe I'm going to come out here and see this kid and everything. I hadn't seen him for about 15 years. I come out here, I see him. He says, "Hi, Monty, how's it going?" And I started talking to him a little bit, and he goes, so I thought he'd want to talk. And you know what he said to me? He said, "Monty, I don't know what you're doing here, but we got shit to do here." And I said, "Well, I thought I'd come out here." And he goes, "Yeah, I get it all, but we got stuff to do." And I thought, you know what? That's probably what I would have said in the field, too, if some guy in a suit would have came up to me and started BSing with me at work. So it just shows how these jobs are transformative, life-changing for that young man and for all the young women and people we bring in. And Sound Transit, King County, the state, everybody together is all around what this really is. The job sites need to reflect the community so we can keep people working and living in the towns where they live. That's not only green, but it's good for everybody. And I just want to thank, like I said, thank Sound Transit and all the government help we've had to keep this ball rolling. Like I always said, ribbon cuttings are okay, but I mostly like when we're putting the shovel in the ground. So let's get that going. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Monty. I want to just add a few words. The workers who build our light rail lines and other vital infrastructure, they're highly skilled experts, and they put their physical persons on the line to provide the infrastructure that we all rely on. So I want to take a moment to honor Walter Burrows. Walter Burrows was a longtime Kiewit employee. He passed away on the job as he worked on Eastlink for all of us. And so today, as we're celebrating, let's also remember that all of our workers put their personal safety on the line, and we owe it to them to recognize that and to redouble our commitment to worker safety. So thank you for taking a moment to think about ours, folks.